morning. I am Daun Whittaker. Welcome to Dreams Unveiled. I am a licensed clinical social worker in private practice in Central New York, and I use dream analysis as a big part of my counseling, and it is very, very helpful. So I love being able to bring you people's dreams and we can tear them apart. I'm also an author of the book Change Your Mind and Change Your Life. And right now, if you go to my website, www.daun.com, you can get this book for $12. It is a compilation of strategies and techniques and things I have learned doing counseling. It has a biblical and a clinical perspective and talks about things like anxiety, anger, uh, the power of your words. There's many different things in here, and you don't have to read the whole book. There may be particular chapters called principles that you can just use and get information from. So I encourage you to check this out. And last message is I'm solo today. My son, Danny Burke, is celebrating his 38th birthday in Amarillo, Texas. So if you have an opportunity, wish him a happy birthday. If you follow him on TikTok or Facebook or follow his band Breaking Solace, please give him a shout out for his birthday. He is my oldest son, and I wish I could be with him today. Now let's get to our dream. Our dreamer is Debbie, and Debbie lives in Ithaca, New York, one of my favorite places in New York. If you've never been there, you need to go. I love hiking Tremont State Park, and I'm a vegetarian. I love the Moosewood restaurant. Let me read her dream. Hi, Dawn. I have wanted to send this to you for 2 days now, so here it is. I had a dream that my husband and I were in a big, long building with several rooms in it. My husband did contracting his whole life, and we were renovating the building. He suggested taking a walk outside to see the landscaping. At the one corner of the building, we walked around a wood pile, a tall area of grass, and then some brush. He was on one side of the area, and I was on the inside area closer to the building. I love the detail she has in the stream. It's quite fantastic. I went to step in the high grass to cross over to him, and just as I stepped down to the right of me, I noticed a huge snake in the grass. It had an amber glow to it. I yelled to my husband to be careful, and I backed up and fell to my left against the woodpile. I felt something soft against my skin. I turned and saw a white Labrador flattened against the woodpile and all blood. From there, we had gotten back into the building, and I was looking for Joe. Joe is her husband. Obviously, that was pretty obvious. I found him sitting in a lounge chair with his ex-wife sitting way too close to him for my comfort. I yelled his name twice there. I woke up to him asking me if I was okay and why I was yelling his name. I said I was fine and rolled over and fell back asleep. See, that's a little foreshadowing. Is she fine? So one of the things I want to tell you that the lens I'm using, there's two lenses I'm using to analyze this dream. The first is that whatever resonates with Debbie goes. It's her dream. This is about her. It's about her life. So even if something seems very logical to me and it doesn't resonate with her, then it's not part of the analysis. And the other thing is she's a very devout Christian woman. So this is going to have a slant towards her beliefs. So let's start with the beginning. They're renovating a big building. Well, if you've watched Dreams Unveiled long enough or know things about dream analysis, then you know houses and buildings often represent us. They represent us on the inside, our thoughts, our insights, maybe motivation, all of that, everything in your mind. So here they are renovating a building, which really speaks to the fact that her mind, her subconscious mind may be giving some nudges based on the information it has that it's time to heal. It could be that she is really making big changes in her life and change is happening. It could be a lot of those. It could be both things because a lot of dream symbolism is often represents many different things. So it could be both of those. She's doing this with her husband, which really represents the part of her life that she was married. This is really talking about uh, the renovation of her a dream. Is probably something going on right now, and that they have this is a teamwork dream that they're working together. So very much how she perceives her marriage and the importance of it to her that they are working together. I do know that her husband's been having some significant health issues, so that may really play into some of the dream analysis here. He goes outside and he's checking out the landscape and he's really encouraging her to come join him. So this is, let's get out of your head and go outside and see what's there. This is what her subconscious is telling her. And they get outside, and what they first encounter is tall grass. And when I say they, I mean her and her subconscious mind. Her husband's on the other side of the property. So she is in this tall grass and looks down, and there is this big snake, and the snake has an amber glow. Now that would be, if you're terrified of snakes, that might be a little bit horrifying to see. This is really interesting. So we're starting on a dream where she's working on herself, or God's working on her, or she's being healed or restored from something from a past. And the first thing she runs into is a snake. Well, from a Christian perspective, a snake in tall grass, think about this. This is a no-brainer. Deception, hidden deception, hidden things that are hidden that that are dangerous, that can cause issues. But here's the interesting part about this: an amber glow. Amber is very interesting. You know, the color amber in dreams, first of all, represents healing and spiritual awakening. Amber oftentimes is affiliated or thought about as like the sun, because of its color. So this is a very interesting thing. And amber also can mean the fire of God and protection. So here we have something, it's almost like a dichotomous situation. We have a symbol of a snake, but we have this amber gold, which may mean that that she is unraveling things that are very hidden, and they may be hidden in her, that are hidden, that are deceitful, and she is coming up on them, but there is this protection over her, and maybe some spiritual awakening and healing. So now this really is starting to make sense, and this is at that point in time when I would say, okay, what is going on in your life? And and Debbie said she was heading to Tennessee, her and her husband, even though he's in a lot of pain. They were going to Tennessee to visit family and friends, and she was very apprehensive about it. She loves her family, but very apprehensive about it because a family member, when she was in her a previous marriage, a family member in the first year of that marriage was actually sexually involved with her ex-husband. It was a profound betrayal, and although she has recovered from it and gotten over it, she's very apprehensive about running into this individual. So the dream, I think, is alerting her, because it happened before she left, that she is going to have this anxiety, but that she is okay, that she is being, there's a lot of repair going on, there's a lot of healing going on. She and her husband are a team. This is not like the previous marriage. They are a team, they work together, and there is healing, and she does not need to be concerned. So, first of all, I love that message. And once she gave me the context, what is going on in her day to day that brought her to this place, it made very great sense. So, so anything tall grass, if you're walking in tall grass, it really is likely referring to things that are hidden. But remember, this is all very subjective. You may have your own experience with tall grass, and it could mean something entirely different. Just like in her dream, the snake represented deceit and danger. In other people's dreams, it may represent rebirth or newness because of the molting. So it really depends on your orientation into that. So she maneuvers through that, and the next thing she is backing up against uh, a wood pile. She describes it, and she first she feels something soft on her back, and she turns around, and on a wood pile there is a flattened white Labrador Retriever, just with blood everywhere. And she was horrified. This would have been horrifying to any of us. I can't imagine anyone thinking, wow, what a great vision, but it is horrifying. And so let's look at this. Let's take it apart. A white lab. So white typically represents purity and innocence in dreams. So, but it's in blood and it's obviously dead. So what this is showing her is that a part of her was taken or died when this original betrayal had happened, that it had really affected her, that it had changed the relationship she has with the betrayer, and obviously it had a huge negative outcome in the marriage and was probably a very painful experience. So this really represents that this is the part of her, the innocence and the newness in this marriage, the previous marriage, all of that had died at that point. And so that she is left with this hole, with this part of her missing that she can't ever get back. And that probably is why the image was so graphic, just to really kind of impress that. The great thing is sometimes we can't get back who we are. We just can't. And it's okay because sometimes we can be better and more than we ever started out, even if that was in a good place. And we need to really recognize that things in our life are going to happen. And even for somebody who has a great relationship with God, God will walk through everything with you, but it doesn't mean bad things don't happen. And people go through some pretty awful things. It does not mean that you can't overcome them. It may be a whole lot of work. I do cognitive processing therapy and work with people that have trauma, and it's a lot of work. But on the other side of it, you may find yourself in a better place than you ever were before. So I really want to, provide that encouragement. But meanwhile, this was a great loss to who she was at the time. You are being informed by your dream that you have a great marriage and you've been married over 15 years and you are both doing well. I want to encourage you, and so does your dream, that you got this and your marriage is very healthy and you've been married over 15 years and you don't have much to worry about in that department. You have a team that can confront pretty much most any problem. So I think this dream was very encouraging, that you may have lost a little bit of yourself with that betrayal and the trauma of it. It's traumatic. I can't imagine that dream was triggered because of your visit. You were getting ready to go on the visit. And I want to encourage you that God's got this. And I don't think the next time you go visit friends and family, you're going to have a dream like this. I think the dream was really telling you that you are healing, that you are rebuilding, that your life is changing. that your marriage is solid. So bad things can happen, but you are navigating through it with your husband and you're an overcomer. So thank you. Thank you everybody for watching. I encourage you to like, subscribe, and share. And I also encourage you to send me your dreams. I can't do this without your dreams. You can email them to dreams@daunw.com, and I will just need information about what's going on in your life and a way to contact you. You can also go to dawnw.com and fill out on the Dreams Unveiled tab the fillable PDF and just email that to me. That's how to send me your dreams. And I do want your dreams. And there is no dream too short, too long, little info, much info. None of it matters. If you remember it, send it to me and let's see what it's saying to you. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to wish Dan Burke, that's Burk, a happy, happy birthday. And I hope you have sweet dreams tonight. Thanks.